Welcome, friends and family. So excited to be here with you today, coming to you from our Cookeville Elevate studio. Welcome. Folks, today I want to share something with you that is just kind of taking a walk down memory lane. I remember when I first got my real estate license. Around 21 years ago, there was a man, one of the first people that I went to work for. This gentleman's name was Bob Kent. And Bob was, he was a tough old bird. And kind of like old Rocky had that old man there beside him that was always trying to kind of toughen him up and get him in shape. Well, Bob Kent was that for me for a season. I'll never forget Bob Kent would call. Man, he would probably call me at least once or twice every week. And to be honest with you, when he would call, I would think to myself, why is he calling me? Why is he bothering me? I mean, we didn't get an offer on the property. We had a showing. We didn't get an offer. If we got an offer, I would call you. So this was my thoughts. Now, I was very young, just getting started in my career. And these were my thoughts back then. So Bob would say this to me. And he said this to me over and over and over and over again. He would say, Elijah, if you don't pick up your phone, you don't make any money. If you don't pick up your phone, you don't make any money. And he said that so many times, it just got stuck in my head. Now, one day, I guess I just really wasn't paying attention to Bob. One day, he called me. He said, Elijah, I'd like to meet with you at my home. And we sat down there at his front porch. And Bob said, Elijah, I really like you. But if you don't start picking up your phone when I call, I'm going to fire you. Wow. Plain, simple, direct. It hit. And I thought to myself, well, truly it isn't an unreasonable request for me to pick up my phone when he calls. So even if I didn't have anything to say, I just went ahead and started picking up my phone. And Bob was actually a very pleasant person. Obviously, looking back, this is a $300,000 or $400,000 investment for him. People that are financially astute care about their homes and about their investments. So I didn't have that knowledge at that time, personally. So really, it got to be in that process that I began calling Bob. I remember talking to a lady, telling her about the situation, and thankfully she didn't give in to me and say, oh, poor Elijah. She said, Elijah, with people like Bob, you need to call them before they call you. So by the end of the season, I started calling Bob before he would call me. And Bob, after that time, used me to help. I got to help him sell multiple properties. So how about you? Do you got a Bob Kent in your life? You got somebody maybe in your life that's continuing to help you be aware of the areas where you might be missing the mark? Hey, maybe it's a leader in your workplace. Maybe it's your significant other. Possibly it was a coach in life that just would not give up on you until you got it, until you got the steps like they were supposed to be, until you threw the ball like it was, hit the ball like you were supposed to, until you caught the ball like you were supposed to. They didn't give up on you until you got it like it was supposed to be, right? It takes discipline to get there. Folks, this reminds me of a Bible verse, and I want to just read this Bible verse to you. I don't want to get this wrong. Here is a Bible verse that this makes me think of. This is in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. He says, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Ooh, it hurts. However, later on, it produces, means that it's going to bring something out of you. It produces a harvest, not just one or two, a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So it's for our good that we go through these challenging times. And one thing, isn't it so cool, man, that God's word that was written to us thousands of years ago is still applicable to our lives today? It's like he knew that we were going to have to go through some trials and tribulations, that we were going to have to go through some change in life. And here's the one thing that never changes, is change. It's always coming. And so we get to choose how we're going to approach change, approach new disciplines, to build new habits in life and new disciplines in life that cause us to be champions. See, I think one thing that we do get to control, we can't control what comes our way, but we can control our attitude. I love what Zig Ziglar said. He said, positive thinking will always help you do things better than negative thinking will. So it's like, you know, that glass, right? You might see a glass sitting there and somebody might look at that glass and they'll say, man, that glass is almost empty. You know, maybe it's half full, right? And they're going to look at it and they're going to say, gosh, that thing's almost empty. But another man or woman might walk up to it and say, wow, that's a really big drink for a thirsty person. So I believe it's all in how we look at things. The way we think will determine how we'll get it out. You know, so perhaps you've got a Bob Kent in your life right now, somebody that you might think, oh, this person's picking on me, or they're trying to hurt me, they're out to beat me. Or you may look at that same person and think, this isn't unreasonable what they're asking. Like, I think I can do this. See, when you're positive thinking, it doesn't make you a foolish person. It causes you to be a hopeful person. Hopeful that you can develop the skill. Hopeful that you can develop the life habits and the disciplines that will lead to a championship life. See, comparing, I don't think is a great thing. And I think a lot of people do this. They'll look at other people and they'll compare themselves to that person. But what they don't realize is the time and effort that they put in to develop championship habits, championship disciplines. See, you can build a life. You can build your home life. And you can build your workplace life to be very disciplined, that can bring forth a big harvest, be very bountiful. But the choice is yours, right? So I want to challenge you. You get to choose your attitude. You get to choose how much effort you're going to put into getting with the program instead of just doing it your way. See, every time Bob Kent called me, I thought, man, this guy don't know what he's doing. He's just bothering me. I know better than Bob. Why would I bother picking up the phone? He doesn't have an offer. Or you can take the approach that I did after I had to be sat down. I wasn't going to wasn't going to develop new habits without maybe being sat down. And thankfully, Bob cared enough to bring me into that porch, set me down, and tell me he liked me. He did it in a very nice way, but then said, look, as much as I like you, changes aren't made. You're not going to be the one that gets to sell this property. I had to decide that day, am I going to take this as an offense to me, or am I going to make an adjustment that now, years later, I become so much more fruitful because I have been trained. I allowed that discipline to take place in my life. So my challenge to you, I'm sure it's going in your life. It's always going on in my life. And sometimes I'm having to get whipped in line, and other times it comes a little easier. One thing I do now today, and I hope this will help you, is I proactively put people in my life that will help me with my blind spots, so that sometimes I'm not seeing my attitude may be a little off. My ego may be getting a little big, and sometimes I don't see that. And so I really work hard to put people around me who care about me, that will come along beside me and say, hey man, that way you spoke to that person, or the way you said that, maybe you didn't mean it like this, but this is how I think it got interpreted. I'm very thankful for a good attitude and good accountability. You put those two things in your life, those are two big ingredients that can help you develop the disciplines to have a championship life, a championship career, a championship family. All right, thank you very much. Hey, I hope this adds some value to you. If it does, please subscribe and share. Thank you.